Okay, and we are back. This time we are in the zone that is called Croatoa. And as you can see, we got some map badges and some history plaques to get. The green shield icons are the map badges, the yellow ones are the map, or history plaques, I should say. It's a mid-level zone. It's kind of a Halloween nightmarish theme zone. Lots of Halloween themed monsters are in it and all that stuff. And at nighttime, you might even see some ghosts floating around. And this zone is also home to two giant monsters that spawn at pretty much random intervals. One of which is called Yochai. He is basically a giant tree with a giant jack-o'-lantern head. The other one is called Jack and Irons. He's a big fellow with a big chain for a weapon. Packs up quite a bit of a punch in a fight. We're probably not going to encounter them because I don't know if they're out yet or not. We're just here for the badges and the plaques. And right here amongst the magic mushrooms, for lack of a better term, we find a map badge. Let's go over and see what we got here. Okay, barrier holder. Okay. Okay. So let's gain a little altitude. Let's go take a look around here. This zone is also home to a monster that'll spawn and stay out for 45 minutes between spawn until killed, upon which there's a 45-minute countdown before it returns. And speaking of which, here she is. Sally. We'll show you here. As you can tell, we're kind of in a swamp or a lake. It's really foggy, visibility's not too good. And here's Sally! Let's see. Foggy, water environment, swamp. Gee, I named Sally. Instead of perhaps Nessie, as in Loch Ness Monster. But all it takes is one attack of any kind, even from a weak attack, and Sally does the big disappearing act. She will now respawn in 45 minutes from the time of defeat. So if we're lucky, we'll encounter her again. You beat her twice, you get a badge for defeating her twice. And as long as I'm up in this area, looks like we have a plaque nearby. And here it is. There we are. Okay, so we'll close the window. And we're in the vicinity of yet another one, so we'll get it. Looks like the red caps and the witches are still at their usual civil war. That's okay. Here's yet another plaque. I'm in no danger of being attacked by them. Like I said, I'm level 50, and as you can see up here, the target's only level 31. Even if they did attack me, they wouldn't even begin to touch me. Okay. Now this next badge is up in one of these tree branches, and there it is. It just dinged. Again, you can't necessarily see it. Pardon. But then, you don't need to see a map badge as long as you get close enough to it. It'll ding, as you see. Oh, yes. Let's hit the collect tab. Oh, that was called ensorcelled. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, in fact, also by this tree is a contact for a fan-favorite task force called the Katie Hanan Task Force. Here she is. Yeah, you have to do a mission arc from another contact in this zone to unlock her, but once you do, you can run the task force as many times as you like. But that's okay. Completing a task force gives a merit reward as well as, of course, a special badge. And speaking of badges, map badge. Ooh, Jack's Wrath. Okay, here we are. I minimized the chat window simply because we don't need to be seeing any miscellaneous chat that's going on any of the chat channels right now. More witches, more wisps, and there is a map badge over in this area. Also, sometimes in this area, you just might come across Jack and Yochai slugging it out with each other in combat, but that's not currently happening. It's all peaceful. But here's the next map badge right here on the ground. Grim Wanderer. Okay, so let's move on ahead. We got a little flying to do here. I do like flying over the other travel powers. I mean, hey, you can just get up here, fly, set yourself to auto fly, so you're constantly moving forward until you stop or turn. You can just fly above everything. Yeah. No fuss, no muss. Over here, we're in pretty much the red cap territory. If you kill 333 red caps, you get a shiny badge. 333 of the witches that you saw earlier, you get a badge. And there's other monsters in here too. We'll show you a couple of them as well. Ah, here we are. The Cabal. Oh, they're part of the witches. Here's another one. The Warrior. He's part of the Tuatha Dananan, or however you want to pronounce that. 333 of them, get a badge. If you collect certain defeat badges along with history plaques and map badges, you can get accolades. And some of the accolades can augment your character in terms of you get more health, you get more stamina. There's an accolade that gives you a protective shield for about 60 seconds that gives you a very nice defense boost. There's one that'll give you a nice recharge boost, although at a slight loss of defense, but then again, that's okay. There's one accolade where if you gather all the badges, you get a pistol that supposedly is called an immobilizer ray. Trust me, it doesn't really immobilize. It acts more as a debuff against enemy target that you hit it with. It's only good for one shot with like a 20-minute recharge. Not exactly an accolade to rush out and find. Over here on this bridge, ta-da, we have another badge. Hallelujah! Midnighter's Perseverance. And again, as before, there are 8 map badges in total to get. Get them all. Get a special accolade badge for obtaining all that zone's badges, and 5 reward merits, which you can collect and spend on assorted bonus items at a merit vendor. Merit vendors are in most zones, you just gotta find them. Don't worry though, they're usually in safe areas. Okay, and over in this area we should have another badge. Can't quite see it on... Oh, here it is. Okay, but it doesn't matter, like I said. You don't have to see it, as long as you're near it, it'll award. Spiritual. Okay. Yeah, I guess I must have aggroed that little group of monsters, but again, big deal. I'm level 50, they're like 19 levels below. I'm not concerned. So, as we move right along, we're going to go here to number 5. Scoop up a badge. After this map badge, there should only be number 7 to get. And let's see, this map badge should be right along here, along the beach. Here we are. Ding! Ooh, a Sally Sightseer. Yeah, basically you're sitting here waiting to catch a glimpse of Sally. Also known as Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Again, these red icons are nothing. Those are basically just day job locations. And we're definitely not going to worry about those, because to get a day job, if you're not, you have to be logged out for 21 days in the correct spot to get a badge. And oh, brother, staying logged out for 21 days, not be able to play one of my favorite characters, not my idea of fun. Here we have yet another map plaque. Hallelujah. Okay, done and done on that one. And we're going to go here for number 4 of the plaques. There's only 4 plaques to the zone. The amount of plaques per zone can vary from as low as 1 to anywhere from 7 to 8. Some are easier to get to than others. Let's see, lots of Tuatha Dananan running about. Interesting. Torches are lit here. This is actually one of the spawn points where Giant Monster Jack could appear from. Whoops, look at this. We have a plaque badge here, boys and girls. Not too shabby. Let's see. It's called Alumnus. I've just learned the history of Croatoa. Alright. Go me. Now, many of the badges in this game are what you could also call trophy badges. In fact, technically speaking, they're all trophy badges, even the accolades. It's just not every badge is linked to an accolade. But hey, they're still trophies. After all, what's the old saying? Gotta catch 'em all. Well, it's the same with these map badges and the plaques, along with the defeat badges and many other badges that exist in this game. Yeah. I'm not sure what the last known current total possible badges were to get, but it was pretty close to 1,400. And we're going to go here to location marked number 7, which is where another badge is at. Also, I'm going to kind of do a little scenic tour of this area real quick, just on an off chance that just maybe we might see Yochai. Oop, hello, it's nighttime in the zone. At nighttime, the ghosts come out. If you can defeat 333 of the ghosts, guess what? You get a badge. Every badge that you can get in this zone, as far as the defeat badges, is tied to an accolade. Of course, there are other badges you need besides them. Also, the badges for defeating Yochai and Jack in this zone are also accolade linked. But I don't see either one of them out and about. Let's see here. Is there any previous alerts for this zone anywhere? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. Usually there's an alert that might say unusual monster activity cited in Croatoa, and when you see that, there's a good chance that Jack or Yochai or both are out. They can spawn in certain areas on the map. Hello, we found a map badge. Oops, looks like we have all 8, because now we have the Citizen of Salamanca badge, which is the accolade for getting all 8 badges, and here's badge number 8 for the zone. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we'll just take another look around. See here all the pumpkin fields. Ooh, look at that, the pumpkin men. They're called the Firbolg, as you can see up here. Definitely a Halloween-inspired zone. You can also find these monsters in assorted missions. If you miss getting a mission with them, you can always use the Ouroboros zone to time travel or flashback to the appropriate zone at the appropriate power level, of course, because that's what flashbacking is all about. And then you can always hunt them in the missions. Or you can just stay out here in the open and just basically do what is affectionately referred to as street sweeping, which basically means you're sweeping the streets clean of any and all monsters that you come across until the appropriate defeat badge registers as a win. Well, still no sign of any giant monsters. That's kind of a shame. I was really kind of hoping to show them to you in this vid. But, you know, sometimes the giant monsters just don't quite want to cooperate. Now, sometimes they'll both spawn in this area and they'll end up fighting each other. That's good and bad. It's bad because if they injure each other too much, you won't get the reward badge when you defeat them. You'd have to separate them and then stretch the battle out considerably in order to still obtain the award badge for them. There's also a yearly Halloween event around the October time frame where Yochai and Jack can spawn in any zone. Defeating them awards a Halloween event badge. It wouldn't be the same as getting the badges in this zone. The only problem with that is that Jack is set to a very low spawn rate during the Halloween event. Basically, anytime Yochai is defeated, there's a 10% chance that Jack would be the next one to spawn. Wasted a lot of time on the Halloween event sometimes doing the old Jack Hunt, as it's been nicknamed. And that is not a very affectionate nickname. There are other nicknames that other players, including myself, have used to describe it, but for the sake of this video, I will not bother phrasing them. Let's just say that when you have only a 10% chance of getting the other monster, you're going to be killing a lot of Yochai. And like I said, he's a giant pumpkin-headed monster, and after a while, you kind of get sick of seeing Pumpkin. And again, that's probably the nicest way I can phrase it. The Halloween event, giant monster part of it, has evoked many a frustration from many a player. Yeah, I'm just checking all the other areas here. These marks here on the map indicate where Jack could spawn, and these marks here indicate where Yochai could spawn. It's random where they appear. Unfortunately, it's also random as to when, and I'm not seeing any sign of them, which is too bad, because I really did want y'all to see them. Ah, well. What can you do, huh? Let's do another fast peek. Peek around here. No, doesn't look too good. Looks like they're not out and about tonight. Ah, well. Just do another fast sweep of the area. Still nothing. Lots of little pumpkin men, but not the big one that I want. More ghosts. Where we initially saw the ghosts is actually the best area for street sweeping them. Granted, they appear here, but the groupings are usually a little bit smaller than where we were. Although sometimes up on top of this hill area, you can find a good sizable amount of ghosts in a group. Sometimes. Still, looks like there's no sign of the giants. Alright then, well, that is it for Croatoa. We're going to move on to the next zone. And we'll see you there, as the saying goes.